Hello? Hello, hello? Are we back on? Great. Okay. I'm so sorry about that. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate it. All right, we're back on. Let's go on to our hands and knees and we'll find table. So tuck under, lift and lower. Nothing like a little technical challenge to get your heart pumping, right? For me. Tuck under, lift and lower. And let's walk our hands forward and stretch your sides and let your hips move back toward your heels. Rock a little bit left and right. Lift up a little, lean forward into your arms and stretch out through the front side of your body. And tuck your toes under, let your hips move back toward your heels. Stretch out, rock a little bit side to side. Lift up a little and step your left foot forward in between your hands and lift your torso and sweep your arms up and overhead, coming into low lunge. Exhaling, let your torso come forward, sweep your arms back behind you, lean forward and stretch into humble warrior. Inhale to lift your torso, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, place your hands together in front of your chest. Take your right elbow across over toward your left. Inhale to lift up and stretch up. Exhale and open twist. Your left arm comes forward, your right arm comes back. Turn and look past your right hand. Inhale to sweep both arms overhead. Exhale, take your hands down and take your left leg back into bird dog. Stretch it long back behind you. Roll your ankle, wiggle your toes. Both knees down, hips drag back toward the heels. Rock a little bit side to side. Inhale to lift up, come into upward facing dog. Stretch out through the front side of your body. And tuck your toes under and lift your hips up and back. Come into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lengthening your arms and your legs, lifting and lowering your heels. Roll your head around, pedal out your feet. And step your right foot forward in between your hands. Back knee comes down, lift your torso, coming into low lunge, sweeping your arms up overhead. Exhale, coming into this position, your torso comes forward, your arms sweep up back behind you. Inhale, lift up, lengthen. Reach through your fingers. Exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Left elbow comes across over towards the right knee. Turn and look past your right shoulder. Inhale to lift up. Exhale and open twist. Your right arm comes forward. Your left arm comes back. Inhale one more time. Reach up and overhead. Exhale, your hands down. Your right leg slides back into bird dog. Stretch it back. Both knees down, hips move back toward the heels. Lift up, lean into upward facing dog, and pull yourself into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet, roll your head around. Look forward between your thumbs. Get ready to step forward and step or hop forward, top of the mat. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to chair pose. You can do your arms however you want to. Maybe you have your arms overhead, or elbows bent, or arms swept behind. Stand tall, roll your shoulders up, back and down. Then point your fingers forward and down, dive your arms down, all the way down. Plant your hands, step or hop, back to plank. Let's hold plank for 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. Keep finding the length of your legs, the length of your spine, the length of the back of your neck, the length of your breath. Slowly move yourself into downward facing dog. Hips move up and back. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs, stretch your spine. Take your right leg back behind you for a three-legged dog. Bend your knee open and stack. Right hip over left hip. You can look underneath your right arm. And square your hips, curl your right knee underneath you, step it forward, right foot in between your hands. Back heel comes down. Lift yourself up into warrior two. Now your arms extend from your center and your legs press down and kind of pull apart a little bit so you feel your legs working. Lifting through the crown of your head. Breathe. Let's tilt back a little bit. Reach back towards your back leg. Then take your top arm and reach it up and overhead, coming into extended side angle. Reach and stretch and lengthen. Straighten your front leg and bring your arms to 12 and 6 for a triangle pose. Breathe here for a moment. Lengthen both your side bodies. Inhale to lift yourself back into warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Plant your hands down. Come into a one-legged plank. Your right leg floats. You could also be in bird dog here instead of one-legged plank. So left knee might be down with right leg back, or the left knee might be up with the right leg back. Both feet down, bend your knees, hips move back toward the heels. Then step or hop forward, top of the mat. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to chair pose. And chair pose might look like this. It might look like this. Might look like this. Find this place that feels best to you for your chair pose. Inhale to stand tall, reach up. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Your knees come down, hips move back toward the heels, and lift up and lean forward in the upward facing dog. And pull back into downward facing dog. Hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. And take your left leg back into three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open and stack. Left hip over right. Breathe here. Square your hips. Curl your left knee underneath you. Step your left foot forward. In between your hands, back heel comes down. Lift yourself up into warrior two. Extend from your center, from your chest out to your fingertips. From your chest down into your feet. Pull the mat apart a little bit with your feet. And notice what happens in your legs, in your sides, in your breath. Lean back a little. Reach your right fingers back. And then sweep your left arm, your right arm up and over. Stretch into extended side angle. Your left arm reaches down. Your front knee could bend a little bit more. And lengthen your legs, lengthen your arms. Nice job. Straighten your front leg and tick your arms to 12 and 6 o'clock. Lengthen both your side bodies. Breathe. For triangle, you can turn your gaze up towards your extended fingers if you like. Inhale to lift, bending your front knee into warrior two. And exhale, cartwheel down, hands to the floor. Your front leg becomes your back leg, either in one-legged plank or in bird dog. Remember, you've got options. Both feet down, both knees down, hips move back toward the heels. Lift up, slide forward into upward facing dog. And drag yourself back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, move your head around. And start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to chair pose. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Exhale, and swan dive forward. Hang forward and forward fold. Take your right leg back your right knee comes down. Place your hands on the inside of your left leg and lean forward in lizard pose. Lean forward, stretch forward, really finding the front of your back leg. And walk your hands back and your hips back, coming into half splits. So your torso is over your extended front leg. Your hips can be up. Your hips could be back down a little bit. Walk forward, take your left leg back behind you in bird dog. Then bend your left knee. Walk your left hand a little bit more firmly underneath your shoulder and take your right hand back to see if your hand and your foot connect. They might, they don't have to. Nice job. Right hand down, left leg long, both knees down, hips drag back, stretch out your low back. Inhale to lift up, lean forward in upward facing dog, and glide back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Move your head around. Bend and straighten your legs. Lift and lower your heels. Take your right leg back behind you for three-legged dog. Bend your right knee. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Both hands come on the inside of the front leg, coming into lizard and getting a big stretch through the front of the back leg. And walk your hands back, coming into half splits. Your front leg stretches. Your torso's coming forward towards your leg. Your gaze is steady. Your breath is steady. Walking your hands forward, your front leg turns into your back leg. Drag it back behind you. Bend your knee. And walk your right hand a little more firmly underneath your right side of your chest. And take your left hand back and see if your hand and foot connect. They might. Release your grip if you've got one, both hands down, both knees down, hips move back towards the heels, stretch out your low back, rock from side to side. Inhale, come back into cat and cow in table. Move through your spine, lift and lower. Tuck your toes under, walk your hands back toward your knees and come into any variation of squat that you like. So you might be here with your hands on the floor. You might be here with your knees off the floor, your elbows on the insides of your knees and hands together. You might be here with your hands on the tops of your legs. These are all variations of squat. So find which one is working better for you today. Breathe here. And slowly start to come into forward fold at the back of your mat. Straighten your legs. Your hands are wherever they make best sense for you. Might be on the fronts of your legs, fronts of your shins, tops of your knees. Your hands might be on the floor. Start to bend your knees and tuck your tailbone and roll yourself up to stand. Bring your hands together in front of your chest. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Pick up your right heel and take your right foot on the inside of your lower left leg, coming into tree pose at the back of your mat. Breathe here for a moment. And point your right knee forward. Extend your right leg forward. Hold there for a breath or two. Now, does your foot have to be in the air? No, it doesn't have to be in the air. You could have your heel down if you want extra balance support. Bend into your left leg and step forward onto your right foot and split your arms. Your right arm is overhead. Your left arm is back. If you like, you can bend your left knee. You could reach back and hold on to your left ankle or your left foot and start to tilt forward a little. Keep your gaze steady, your breath steady. Release your right arm, curl your left knee underneath you, and bring your left foot into tree pose. Your left foot is on the inside of your lower right leg. The knee wings out to the side. Press your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg. Stand tall. Left knee points forward. Left leg extends. Breathe here. Roll through. Step forward onto your left foot. Your left arm reaches up. Your right arm reaches back. You can stay here. You've got lots of different options here. You could hold on to your right ankle. You could tilt forward a little. Breathe. Releasing your grip. Step together, top of the mat. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to hinge forward. Plant your hands down onto the mat. Roll your head around. Step or hop back to plank. The familiar plank. Walk your hands out a little bit. Dome your upper back. Press your heels back. Pull up and in at your belly and find your best plank. Your head's in line with the rest of your spine. Point the crown of your head forward. Look straight down. Now soften your gaze a little bit. Soften your shoulders a little bit. One more inhale and exhale in plank. And take your right knee down. Take your left leg long back behind you. Start to walk your hands a little bit. Right hand comes more underneath the right shoulder. Turn and open to the side. Press out through your left heel, toes toward the shin. Spread across your chest. Nice job. Both hands back down. Square your hips, curl your left knee underneath you, step your left foot forward in between the hands, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, plant your hands down. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, step back to one-legged plank. Left leg floats. Both feet down, hips move up and back to downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Spread your fingers. Wrap your shoulder blades around to the sides of your body. Start to bring yourself back into plank position. Hold there for 3 breaths. Dome your upper back, head in line with the rest of your spine. This plank's even better than the last one. Pressing back through the heels. Nice job. Left knee comes down, right leg floats. Plant your left hand a little bit more underneath your left shoulder and start to turn and open to the side, extending your top arm, your top leg. Press out through your heel. Breathe. Nice job. Both hands down. Square your hips, curl your right knee underneath, step it forward. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, hands down. Right leg stretches back. Right toes down, step back to plank, hips move up and back for downward facing dog. Look forward between your thumbs, step or hop forward, top of the mat. Inhale to half lift and exhale to chair pose. This time we'll find eagle. Taking your left arm underneath your right, wrapping your arms around each other. Shift your weight into your right foot, pick up your left heel. You're already in it. If you want to do a little bit different variation, you can take your left leg on top of your right leg and sit down. Might be a little wobbly. Look at all the things you can do. You could touch your toes down for extra balance support. You could put the backs of your hands together for different variation of this arm connection. Breathe and breathe. Nice work. Unwrap your arms. Sweep your arms out and up. Stand tall. Uncross your left leg. Exhale, sweep your arms back behind you. Sit down in chair. We'll do the other side, wrapping the right arm underneath the left. Shifting the weight onto the left foot. The right heel comes up. And cross your right leg over your left leg and sit down. You can have your toes down. You can have your leg crossing a little bit higher. Find the spot that works best for you right now. Nice job. Inhale to unwrap. Unwrap your legs, stand tall, reach up. Exhale, bring your arms out to T, hinge forward, hang forward, in forward fold. Step your left foot back behind you, back heel comes down. Lift up into warrior two. Once again, wrap your left arm around behind you, coming into reverse position. Inhale to lift up, exhale, tilt forward, reach forward. And take your left arm forward, back heel dials up, coming into warrior three. Your back heel dials up, step forward any amount, and lift your back leg any amount. Your torso can come parallel to the floor. Your head, your shoulders, your hips, your back heel all start to line up. Bending into your standing leg, back foot comes down. Glide yourself back into warrior two. Exhale, arms down, plant your hands. Back heel dials up, right leg floats back, one-legged plank. Both feet down, both knees down. Hips move back towards the heels. Take a little rest, a little break. Rock a little bit side to side. Inhale to lift up, lean into upward facing dog. And drag back into downward facing dog. Left leg comes back. Stretch it long. Curl your left knee underneath you. Step your left foot forward. In between your hands. Glide yourself into warrior two. Up and out. Reverse. Right arm wraps around. Left arm curls overhead. Stretch through your sides. Press down through your legs. Lengthen your side bodies. Inhale to lift up and lean forward. Stretch forward. Your right arm matches your left arm. Your back heel dials up. Lean forward. Stretch forward. Now you can stay right here. You're already in it. You can start to walk forward and lift your back leg. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Nice job. Glide yourself back with control into warrior two. Exhale, both hands down. Front leg becomes back leg, floated into one-legged plank. Both feet down, both knees down. Hips move back toward the heels. Rock from side to side. Place the hands on the tops of the knees and lift yourself into seated pose. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Then cross your legs underneath you. Come to seated. Stick your legs out in front of you. Straighten your legs, roll through your ankles. Point and flex your feet. Plant your heels down, scoot your hips forward, hold onto the backs of your legs and walk yourself into boat pose. Any boat. So this is boat pose here. You can paddle your boat. This is boat pose with holding on. You can not hold on, you could straighten your legs. Oh, you could cross your legs too. That can be sometimes a really interesting way to practice boat. One more moment here in your boat pose. Exhale, cross your legs underneath you, plant your hands, tuck your toes, and lengthen your legs into downward facing dog. Pedal your feet, lift and lower your heels. Roll your head around. One more inhale and exhale in your downward facing dog. And step your left foot forward in between your hands, coming into standing splits. So your hands, it sounds more intimidating than it is. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Your torso hangs down towards your front leg and your back leg floats. Exactly like warrior three, only your torso is coming down towards the floor. So this back leg, keep your hips square. You can have your knees bent as you want to. If you want to practice straightening and bending your back leg, keep your torso hanging down towards your front leg. And slowly let your back leg come back down, and we'll lift up into warrior one. Hips square, shoulders square, lifting, lengthening through your fingers. Exhale, take your right arm underneath your left, wrap your arms around each other. Let's try another eagle pose. So step forward onto your front foot, your back leg glides forward and wraps over. Sink down any amount. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Nice job. Unwrap, step your right leg back. Unwrap your arms, sweep your arms out and up and overhead. Exhale, hands down. One-legged plank. Left leg glides back behind. Both feet down, hips move up and back in a downward facing dog. Take your right leg back behind you. Curl your right knee underneath you, step it forward. Okay, here's our standing splits again. So walk your hands forward. Your torso is down towards your front leg. Your back leg lifts any amount. Your toes can be down. Your knee can be bent. Your leg can be lifting. Give yourself another breath or two here. Slowly let your left leg come all the way down. We're lifting up into warrior one. Plant down in your front foot. Lift your torso. Sweep your arms overhead. Let's try eagle again on this side. Left elbow comes underneath right. Wrap your arms around each other. Step forward and cross your left leg over your right leg and sit down. Now remember, doesn't matter. You can have your toes on the floor, on the outside, or on the cross side of your front leg. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Breathe. Nice job. Stand tall. Unwrap your arms, unwrap your legs. The left leg steps all the way back into warrior one. Exhale, hands down. One-legged plank. Your right leg floats. Both feet down, both knees down. Hips move back toward the heels. Rock from side to side. Place your hands by your knees. Lift your torso all the way up. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Place your hands on the floor. Cross your legs underneath you. Stick your legs out in front of you. Walk yourself towards the middle of your mat. Wiggle out your knees. Then bring your left knee in towards your chest and hold on with your arms. Rock from left to right. Put your left leg out to the side with your knee bent. Take your right hand down toward your right foot and stretch your left arm back behind you. Take your left arm up and over, big side stretch. Inhale to lift up, left hand down, and right arm stretches up the other way. Inhale to lift up, take both legs out in front of you, slide your hands down toward your feet, let your torso come forward. Inhale, lift up, and take your right leg with you and rock it from side to side. Draw circles with your knee. Right knee comes down. Sit a little bit taller. Slide your left hand down toward your left foot and take your right arm out to the side. Inhale to sit tall. Your right hand comes down and your left arm stretches up and back. Inhale to lift up. Take both legs out in front of you. Slide your hands down the tops of your legs. Lean forward, stretch forward. Inhale to lift up. Bring yourself up towards the top of your mat. Plant your feet down. Wrap your hands behind your legs and bring your torso toward your thighs. Inhale to lift up, hook your thumbs and start to lower yourself down. All the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest and draw circles with your knees. Go around one direction and the other direction. Plant your feet down onto the mat. Bring your arms long down by your sides. Lengthen your neck. Press your low back down and squeeze your glutes a little and lift your hips into bridge pose. Tuck your tailbone, lower your hips back down. Bring both knees into your chest. Curl your nose in toward your knees. Your head comes down, your right leg comes down, your left knee comes across your body over towards the right. Your elbows can wing out to the sides. Your arms can be long down by your sides. You can put your hands on your crossed leg. Come back onto your back. Stick your left leg up towards the ceiling and do a flipped over warrior three. So stretching out through your sides and your neck and your shoulders and your hips. Keep your arms outstretched and slowly start to take your left leg all the way back down. When you get all the way down, point your toes, reach your fingers overhead, gain another inch or two in length. Exhale, let your arms come down by your sides, gather up your legs with your arms, pull your knees into your chest, and bring your nose in towards your knees. Your head comes back down, feet come back down, arms long down by your sides. Squeeze your glutes a little, press your low back down, and lift your hips into bridge pose. Tuck your tailbone, lower yourself back down. Bring both knees in toward your chest. And take your left leg long down onto the mat. And take your right knee, cross your body. You can do what you like with your arms. Your elbows could be out to the side. You could be holding on to your crossed leg. You can turn your head either direction. Rolling back onto your back. Stick your right leg into the air and take your arms overhead, coming into upside down, warrior three. Press out through your heels, lengthen your legs. And slowly start to let your extended leg that was in the air, let it start to glide down towards the floor, down towards your mat. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs long, point your toes. And exhale, reach down, gather up your legs with your arms, pull your knees into your chest, and you can turn this into a curl in like this with your nose in towards center, or you could do a happy baby with your feet up in the air and kicking around. You could put the soles of your feet together and have your knees wing out to the sides. You could cross one leg over the other and bring your legs in like this. So you've got lots of options here. Find the one that works best for you, or just pick one. And then gradually let your arms come down, your legs come down. Stretch yourself out along your mat. Now, most days I like this position with my arms and my legs long and my nose pointing up, but sometimes it doesn't feel right for me. So you can change. You don't have to do it that way. You could lay on your side. You could be on your belly. You could cross your legs. You could cross your arms. You stay where you are. I'm going to sit up and monitor the space, watch over it. So as you are breathing and resting, just notice all the things that are in your space right now. Notice your breath, notice your sensations. Notice your experience in the moment. And then do less noticing, do less work. We'll breathe and rest here for just maybe like about 3 minutes or so. This is your time to settle in, and there's nothing else you have to do right now. What we were doing before, that's over. And what you have to do yet today is not here yet. This is the in-between time, the time where you have space, where you encourage quiet, listening, and just breathing. Start to notice how you've placed your body. You can maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit and observe the position of your head, your rib cage, your hips. Observe your arms and your legs, any sensations that you're experiencing, like the temperature of the room, feeling of the air on your skin. You might notice smells, sounds, tastes. Start to stretch yourself out and become more alert. You can find um, your position of your body and start to roll over onto one side if you're lying down, and gradually make your way back up to seated. Bringing yourself back to the position that you started in, revisit that, and notice any shifts or changes in your body or in your thoughts or in your breath. Observe that, and you tuck that away for future reference. We'll end class by bringing our hands together, rubbing our hands together, and settling your hands in front of your chest, elbows down by your sides. Take a big soft breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And one more time, big soft breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Namaste. So thank you so much. Thanks for hanging in there with me this morning. Sorry about the disruption for the audio, and thanks for sticking around and finishing class with me. I appreciate that so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you have any questions, if you need anything, just let me know. And anybody want to type anything in the chat? If you have any questions, go right ahead. I'm watching, listening. Thanks, Roman. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming to class. So I'm here on Tuesday mornings and or Wednesday mornings and Tuesday evenings. I teach the Tuesday evening class too. So I look forward to seeing you again. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Take care.